hi again. It's Paul Feuerstein. And I had Kelly Dyer Hayes come back. She gave us a fantastic story about surgically clean air and how it'll help you practice. But Kelly has a very interesting past before she got involved with dentistry. And it's not a sordid past by any stretch of the imagination. Kelly grew up in Massachusetts and had aspirations of being a figure skater. And as things went on, what happened, Kelly? What happened to the figure skating?
Well, I grew to be 5'11" by the time I was 12 years old. So that made it difficult on a few tries of the movements of having this base person pick me up over their head.
So, and you also, you're pretty athletic and you like to play hockey. And if we're friends with the kids on the street and they'd say, hey, Kelly, could you play hockey with us? And so you said, sure. And they were really kind of intimidated because you were 10 times better of a skater than they were. But so they stuffed you in the corner.
That's right. Yeah, actually, I grew up in a neighborhood of all boys. So my brother David, he's 2 years older. And so it was sort of all his buddies, and they were always playing street hockey. And I was like, I want to play. And they're like, tell your little sister to go away. And they're like, okay, if you get in net and you be the goalie, we can shoot at you. We'll let you play. And I said, I don't care. I'll get in net. And they shot things at me, and I liked it. So it was pretty natural.
And you did pretty well. And took this to a higher level, and you went to high school and then went to college. You went to was it Northeastern, I believe?
Yes.
And in Boston, where we both live in the area here, every year there's a thing called the Beanpot Tournament, which is BU and Harvard and who are the other schools?
Northeastern, BC, BU, Harvard, Northeastern.
That's just the three. And as the goalie of the Northeastern team, you did very well. You had a very low goals against, if I understand it correctly.
Yes.
Ultimately, 8 years later, you'll be put into the Hall of Fame.
Yes, my teams did very well. I was very fortunate. We had a class of my entering year at Northeastern. There was 7 of us, 7 freshmen all at the same time. And we became a great unit everywhere, obviously for 7 people. So defensemen, forwards, we were just a great, great team. We were coached by Coach Don McLeod, really brought out the best in us. And we were very successful. We actually went undefeated from all the way through my junior year, all the way through my senior year. So winning back-to-back championships with those 2 seasons as well.
And then you went into the national arena.
Yep. So I was so fortunate. So when you look at the timing in our lives, like especially now, kind of, reminiscing back, and as I was getting ready to enter college, women's hockey became an official sanctioned sport, which means scholarships were created the year before I entered college. So then I was able to enter college in a very nice way, going into Northeastern. And then as I was graduating Northeastern, was the first ever women's Team USA. So it was actually unbelievable when you look at your timing of your life, So as I graduated academics in 1989, the first ever women's Team USA was in 1990. And the tryouts were actually at Northeastern University. So I didn't even have to take my gear out of the dressing room. I just had to change the color of my jersey. That was it. It was really phenomenal. And again, we had great teams. And that event, the World Championships in Ottawa in 1990, became the test event that then became the Olympics. We didn't know it at the time, right? We were just proud to wear that jersey and proud to play for our country. The tremendous response, again, being in Canada, we had over 1 million viewers on TV, and we sold out the NHL stadium. So we had over 10,000 people live. So it exceeded the expectations of what's the International Ice Hockey Federation and also the USOC. And that became sort of the evaluation event to see whether it would progress and go into the Olympics.
And you did very well.
Yeah, well, as you pointed out before, so Canada did win. So our team played well. We competed really hard. But yes, we did take home the silver, which, as they say in sports, you win the gold and you win the bronze, but you lose to get the silver. But again,
that's terrible.
Well, it's true. It's a tough emotional time. You're standing on the line and receiving your medal, but you just lost the game. So it's not until years later, like now, I'm extremely proud. And it is funny when you reflect, it's more about the people, the teammates and the places. And again, I had a wonderful opportunity even after my playing days. I retired or was cut in 1997,
You're
right
about
before,
50 years old then.
yeah, but right before the start of the first ever women's Olympic hockey, which was in Nagano, 98. But because I've been on the team for a while, the team brought me as a spokesperson for the sport of women's ice hockey. So I got to travel all through Nagano for a couple of months, got to have breakfast with Ray Bork in the village. But again, I was really just thinking about, oh, all the sports and all the events, and I'm going to see all these things. But again, it was about the people. It was about, our crew, but then meeting the other countries. It was like a world fair of people in athletics.
And then I know we have to cut it short, but you did get involved beyond that with helping develop women's attire and women's hockey sticks. And I mean, you've pretty much
Yes.
done it all.
Yeah, I created the first ever women's line of hockey equipment and sticks. So again, I took myself and three of my teammates, so Cami Granado, Lisa Brown Miller, and Kelly O'Leary, and created a women's line of equipment. So again, shoulder pads with breast protection and hockey pants that were longer in the leg and not as bulky in the torso. Hockey sticks that were a little smaller in the radius so that the women could get their hands more around the shaft to get greater strength into their shots. So it was really cool. That was October 1st, 1996. We launched that product line.
That's crazy. And
It
then
was
as
fun.
you progressed into the dental, I shouldn't say dental, into the clean air world, I'm sure you knocked on the doors of the NHL. Oh, wait, we left out the most important part. There's a little asterisk here in men's hockey, isn't there?
Yes, I did play men's professional hockey. So I spent 4 years back and forth between the East Coast Hockey League, which is like tier three or four, and then one tier below that was the Sunshine Hockey League. But the wonderful thing about the Sunshine Hockey League is I played for West Palm Beach, Florida, and I lived on Singer Island. So it was really an awesome time in many aspects, shall we say.
That's unbelievable.
It
And
was
now,
fun.
and then when you got started with Surgical Clean Air, you knocked on the doors of all the NHL locker rooms and said, "Hey guys, you need these things, don't you?"
They do need them. So, the big thing with Surgically Clean Air is we mitigate the person-to-person spread of illness. So just like, one hygienist or an assistant or a patient walking into a dental office sick, getting the rest of the team sick, same thing here in Boston. If Patrice Bergeron walks in and he's sick, bang, 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 before you know it, the rest of the team is sick. So if you look at the sort of, player salary per game, you think if you could protect that athlete from not missing that particular game, like the return on investment is pretty high on having them stay healthy and bringing in Surgically Clean Air.
Kelly, it's been a great pleasure to speak to you both times. And what a great life, and you still have a great life, and you're a wonderful person.
Thank you.
And I love working with you and with the company. And let's continue this quest and making sure everybody stays well, which you're helping to do.
Yes.
And again, surgicallycleanair.com or
Yeah, SCA Dental. No, we as a company are doing great things to help people right now. And, not only physically by killing germs and viruses and capturing the aerosols and those types of things, but even psychologically and emotionally, like really, this is a stressful time in many different ways. People are worried about their businesses. People are worried about their staff. People are wanting to protect their patients. They want them to come to a safe environment. So like what we're doing for people right now has been like threefold in helping them. And so many people have been so kind and thinking of others and what can I do to help other people that, us here at Surgically Clean Air, we have been working pretty much 24/7, 7 days a week since this whole pandemic has started. And people are like, oh, it's great for business. And it is, it's great for our business, but it's beyond that now. It's actually being to a point of service. I mean, just how you see these first line workers, everybody's doing their part. And us at Surgically Clean Air, we have really dug in deep to do all we can to help each person, one person at a time.
Well, thank you personally, and thank you to the company. And again, stay well. I hope to see you at
Yes,
some show somewhere, someplace,
I
some
hope
point.
so. Yes, if we ever get back to traveling again, I've never missed trade shows so much in my life. This has been an interesting time. I'm ready to go. Let's go. Where are we
Yeah,
going?
yeah, yeah. All right, Kelly, thanks again. Great
Yeah,
talking to you.
my pleasure. Thank you.